it's Nancy, purevitalifestyle.com. How are you doing today? I wanted to first let you know that I'm going to apologize that our website, purevitalifestyle.com, is not up and running as of yet. We had intended for it to be up and running. We've had a few minor glitches, and so we're a little bit behind. But however, it won't be long. We'll be up and running live. And until then, I still wanted to continue to talk to you and share some information with you and hopefully inspire you a little bit. And I know it's going to be an exciting time, journey for us to get to know one another. And I wanted to talk to you today about some thoughts that Jack Canfield had shared or shares through his programs, through his work. And one thing that you'll come to find as you get to know me is I am a seminar junkie of self-development, spiritual and thought leadership. And I have the great privilege of following and studying with and mentoring with some of the most amazing thought leaders of our time. So Mr. Canfield, Jack Canfield, I had the outstanding privilege of meeting him a couple of weeks ago in Seattle. He was there for a one-day workshop on success principles. And I've read and studied under quite a bit of his work. And as an aside, one of the things I wanted to mention about Jack Canfield is the thing that struck me the most was how gracious he was with his time. It was a long day. There were a lot of people attending, probably about 400 or 500 people were attending, and everybody took away so much from the information that he shared with us. And what really impressed me was his kindness and his generosity of his time. He made a real specific point of making sure that he stood and shared time with each and every person that wanted to come up and either shake his hand, ask for an autograph, take a picture with him. And he was so genuine with every person. He, even after a long day and sharing this wealth of information and inspiring everybody and obviously working and taking very few breaks, he gave the same amount of himself, his humble, generous self to each and every person that wanted to have a bit of his time. And he was there well into the late hours of the evening. So I just wanted to share that information with you. One of the exercises that Jack suggests doing is to set out a bucket list. And he doesn't specifically use that term, but I know that a lot of people will connect with that because of the movie that was out fairly recently with a bucket list. And it's not particularly a term that I myself enjoy using. However, I appreciate the inspired thought and the idea of setting down some pretty serious goals. And so what Jack suggests is making a list of 101 things that you'd like to do and accomplish in your lifetime. And it's an interesting little exercise to do. I've been working on it. Quite honestly, I don't have 101 things as of yet, but I have some pretty, awe-inspiring items that I'm wanting to achieve in my life. Pardon me. And it's a great little exercise. So I would ask you to take a couple of minutes today, and maybe more than a couple of minutes, just maybe the next day or so, just kind of have the idea running through your mind. Think of the biggest grandiose goal or achievement you could succeed and inspire to in your life. What is it that you'd like to accomplish? Climbing Mount Everest, climbing K2, traveling around the world. Decide, how many countries you'd like to travel to. What's the most bizarre place in the world you can imagine going to that you think is out of your realm? Things you like to acquire. Maybe you'd like to, have a particular fabulous house in a part of the world that you haven't been to before. Maybe you'd like to become a book author. Maybe you'd like to become a published author. Maybe you'd like to take up a trade or a skill and do something you haven't done before. So many amazing things that we have the endless possibility to do. So what in your wildest imagination? Maybe you'd like to go on a jungle safari. Maybe you'd like to travel around the world. One of mine is I'd like to travel to all the tropical beaches in the world rather, and photograph the ocean, photograph the waves, and share that beauty with everybody through a book. Maybe there's a hobby or a career that you've had an interest in learning about, and you haven't taken the time to do that yet. So, think outside the box. Think outside of what you do day to day, and you have your family, and you have your routines, and you have your responsibilities, and you have your you know, the weekend activities that you may or may not do, and maybe once a year you go on a holiday with your family, and maybe you have some company activities that you do, like a barbecue or something, or perhaps you go camping. But you know, on a larger scale, what is it that's burning at you to want to get out there to do? How exciting could that be? Because you know, once you write it down, once you affirm it as a goal, it's something that you can strike to achieve, and something you can tick off your list. Maybe it's bungee jumping. Maybe it's learning how to fly a helicopter. Maybe learning how to fly a plane. Maybe getting your pilot's license. Parasailing, hang gliding, surfing, windsurfing. You know, I mean, it's endless, the gamut of what you could do. Maybe it's building a race car. Maybe it's building a kit car. Maybe it's you know, going to Tom Perry's racetrack and you know, driving in a race car. I did that. It was very cool. And you know, who knows? What strikes your passion? What would you like to do? So take a few minutes, write a list. 101 things. Might take you a day, might take you a week. But just start. Just start. Think of some of the fabulous things you could accomplish in your lifetime. I'm excited to see what kind of ideas that everybody can come up with. And once we get the website up and live, we'll put a little section and maybe you can jot down some of your ideas. I hope you have a fabulous day. I'm Nancy Battye, purevitalifestyle.com.